I'm burnt out. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And it's not teacher tired. It is more than that. I should not be pulling up somewhere and immediately feeling anxiety to walk in a building because I have to spend the next 8 or 9 hours here.
What I was made for.
I think one of the hardest parts about being a teacher is not having any energy at the end of the day to take care of yourself.
Teacher burnout is essentially when you feel like you are drowning at work.
Understanding teacher burnout and strategies for prevention. Teaching is a rewarding profession, but it can also be incredibly demanding. Many educators face burnout, a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion that can severely impact their well-being and their effectiveness in the classroom. Understanding the causes of teacher burnout and implementing strategies to prevent it is essential for maintaining a healthy and productive teaching environment.
Let's talk teacher burnout, y'all. I used to be that teacher that would say, I love what I'm doing. I'm going to teach for 35 years. I don't go to work. I go to play and have fun. And this is now my 18th year, and that has changed. I feel like I do go to work. I pull up to my school building, and I have immediate dread and anxiety just seeing the building. I'm burnt out. I'm tired. I'm exhausted, and it's not teacher tired. It is more than that. I should not be pulling up somewhere and immediately feeling anxiety to walk in a building because I have to spend the next 8 or 9 hours here. I can't go on like this. This is not manageable.
What is teacher burnout? Teacher burnout is characterized by chronic stress, feelings of overwhelm, and a sense of detachment from one's work. It often stems from high workloads, emotional demands, and a lack of support.
What is teacher burnout and what's my experience of it? So teacher burnout is essentially when you feel like you are drowning at work. This might be in kind of planning lessons, preparing, marking, all those sorts of things that come with being a teacher, but not having enough time to do those things. So many people I know are currently experiencing this or have experienced it or are on the cusp of teacher burnout. And it's definitely something that I kind of battle with because I just feel like my to-do lists are never done. There's always something else I need to be doing and everything is as important as the other tasks, so you can't prioritise. And 44% of teachers leave teaching within the first 5 years, which I thought was ridiculous. And, those people must not be good teachers. I totally get it. I'm still in my first 5 years of teaching, and I'll be lucky if I make it through.
Common symptoms include physical exhaustion, chronic fatigue and lack of energy, emotional depletion, feeling overwhelmed, anxious and irritable, reduced efficacy, a decline in motivation and performance in teaching.
Here are 3 warning signs that you might be experiencing burnout as a teacher. Number 1, you are always tired, no matter how much sleep you get. That sense of fatigue, that whole body fatigue, never goes away, even if you're packing in the amount of hours sleep you should be getting each night. It might be because you're having too many thoughts, you might feel emotionally tired, or maybe it is just that chronic fatigue feeling that doesn't seem to budge. 2, you are neglecting to look after your self-care and your own mental health and well-being. You might be putting the children that you teach first, but you're not taking care of you. You may have stopped taking part in the activities that you once previously enjoyed. Maybe you no longer spend time with friends as much as what you once did. Or maybe you're not eating, sleeping enough, moving your body in enough healthy ways to keep your mental health and well-being solid and sound. Finally, number 3, last but not least, is the physical symptoms. So those physical symptoms that you may be experiencing thinking that you're physically unwell. You may be, but it also could be that stress and burnout feeling building up to the point where your body is trying to tell you to slow down. You might be experiencing headaches, dizziness, pains, aches, all those kinds of things, neck pain, shoulder pain, or your health is overall deteriorating. And it could be because you are so stressed out and burnt out that it is just time to take a little bit of a rest and step back.
What are the causes of teacher burnout? A high workload. Teachers often juggle lesson planning, grading, and administrative tasks, leading to long hours and little time for personal life.
I think one of the hardest parts about being a teacher is not having any energy at the end of the day to take care of yourself. I spend all of my days being high energy, trying to think of creative ways to engage my students, and making sure that I meet their diverse needs. I love my students and I love my job, but it's hard to go home feeling exhausted every day. My goal is to find the balance between being a good teacher while also finding the time and energy to pour into myself because I know that this lack of self-care is not sustainable.
It's how can I get through what I'm going through when I feel like I'm in this alone? And I think there's some teachers that are sitting in a school with 500 students and 50 other staff members and they feel alone. Like, that's not an environment that I want to work in. But unfortunately, that's the environment that a lot of people are sitting in today. And then we're wondering why teacher burnout is at an all-time high and teachers are leaving within the first 2 years. Like, that's crazy, but things have to change.
Set boundaries. Establishing clear boundaries between work and personal life is essential to prevent burnout. Limit after-hours work. Encourage teachers to set specific work hours and stick to them. Delegate responsibilities. Sharing tasks among colleagues can reduce individual workload. Practice saying no. Encourage teachers to assess their commitments and decline additional responsibilities when necessary.
For a teacher who's experiencing anxiety, worry, dread, burnout, let me give you a 30-second hack that will reset your brain. Write down every single thing that you are worried about. Cross out everything that you have no control over. Once you're done with that, you'll be left with a list that you can control.
Foster student relationships. Building strong connections with students can enhance job satisfaction and reduce stress. Know your students. Understanding students' backgrounds and interests can create a more engaging and supportive classroom environment. Encourage open communication. Promoting a culture of openness allows students to express their concerns and fosters mutual respect. Recognize and celebrate achievements. Acknowledging both small and large successes can boost morale and motivation.
Recently heard this tip about something to do if you're feeling burnt out or tired as an educator. Think about your classes. There are a few kids in every class, most likely, who make it a little more difficult for you to get your job done and teach. But for every 2 or 3 kids, there are a lot more who show up and want to pay attention to you, make eye contact with you, and are ready to learn. The advice is take one day and teach to those students. Make eye contact with them. Give them more attention than you have to normally give the students with more unwanted behaviors. I did that today, and it's a good reminder that there are kids who show up for us too. Like, we show up for kids all the time and we say that, but there are a lot of kids who also show up for us. Instead of spending so much time with the kids who are demonstrating more unwanted behaviors, it's really good to give some attention to the ones who show up and do what they're supposed to do.
Celebrate milestones. Recognizing achievements, whether personal or academic, can foster a sense of accomplishment. Encourage peer recognition. Creating opportunities for colleagues to acknowledge each other's efforts and enhance a positive atmosphere.
Is anyone else who works in a school just so tired at the moment? I don't mean your normal awesome town tiredness. I'm talking about serious teacher burnout. I don't think I've ever experienced tiredness quite like this, and I know I'm not the only one who's feeling it right now.
Teacher burnout is a pressing issue that can affect not only educators, but also the students they serve. By prioritizing self-care, creating supportive environments, setting boundaries, and fostering professional growth, schools can prevent burnout and ensure that teachers remain passionate and effective in their roles. Investing in the well-being of educators ultimately leads to a healthier school community and a better learning environment for students.